Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central. Inspira Central.
Welcome to another edition of Inspira Central. It is me again, your girl Monica, the Chief Inspirer herself. Thank you for joining me today. Today I will be discussing how to forgive others. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is something that many of us find hard, difficult, extremely difficult to do, especially when people have hurt us so badly. Especially when we have been betrayed by friends, by family, by people we thought had our backs. But today we'll be looking at how to forgive others. You have to forgive people for yourself. You have to forgive people so you can move on. You have to forgive people so that you don't hold on to that bile, that bitterness, so that you don't bottle it up and explode one day. That is why you have to forgive. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to start the forgiveness journey, how to forgive other people when they have wronged you, in spite of whatever it is they have done. It doesn't matter what they have done. As long as it's something that upsets you, as long as it's something that hurts your feeling, as long as it's something that you're holding on to, it's time to let go. It's time to forgive. And I'm here to guide you and give you practical tips on how to forgive others. The first tip I have for you is take time to retreat. Retreating is going away. Go away from the person. Go away from the situation. Go away from the environment that hurt you. Go away. Distance is important for you to forgive anybody. Distance is very important. Because if that person is always in your face, if you're always seeing that person, you're going to get angry. You're going to remember what the person said. You're going to remember what the person did, and you're going to be red in the face all over again. So you need to take time to go away. You need to take time to go and nurse your feelings. You need to take time to go and lick your wounds. You need to take time away from that person. So the first thing you have to do is go away. I know sometimes you may not be able to go away because maybe you live in the same house as that person. You may not be able to go away, but you need to take some time off. You need to physically detach. You need to emotionally, mentally detach from that person. So you need to take time away. When you take time away, you will not be so fixated on what that person said and what that person did, because you will not have too many things reminding you of that past that you're trying to let go of that hurt that you wish never happened, of that person that you're trying to forgive. So you need to give some distance. You need to go away. You need to create space between you and the person who has offended you. You need space. You need to go away. You need to detach. You need to retreat. So try as you may, even if you live in the same house with that person, you could take some time off and go to your sister's house or your brother's house, or go to a hotel, or go for a mini vacation. Just take some time away from that person so that you can start to heal. When you start to heal, then you can begin the forgiveness process. You can begin to forgive. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Well, maybe not fonder in terms of, okay, now you like the person because you spent 1 week away from him or her. No. But absence has a way of dulling the pain. Being away from the person who caused the pain has a way of dulling the pain, has a way of making the pain and the wound less severe. So you need to detach. You need your space. You need to stay away from the person, the environment, the situation that has hurt your feelings. The second tip on how to forgive others is to acknowledge your feelings. Some people find it difficult, really difficult, to admit that they're upset, especially if they are people pleasers, especially if they are people who don't want to stand up for themselves or don't know how to. so they just swallow it, they just take it in, they just act like they are not hot, but they are actually hot. They just keep piling it up, putting it in, bottling it up, instead of expressing themselves. But that is counterproductive, because one day they are going to either implode or explode. Explode by screaming at others, by getting enraged when you least expect it. They will just explode because they have had so much and they are dealing with so much. So you have to acknowledge your feelings. Sit back and ask yourself, what am I feeling? Am I angry? Am I sad? Am I hot? Do I feel a sense of loss? What am I feeling? And when you ask yourself these questions, be honest. Answer yourself honestly. Be honest with yourself. Don't say, people don't like angry people, so I shouldn't say I'm angry. No. You're talking to yourself. You're having a tete-a-tete with yourself. This is a private one-on-one session with yourself. So you're being your own therapist here and now. So you're having a quiet time with yourself. So what's the essence of lying to yourself? Would you lie to yourself and tell yourself, no, I'm not angry, I think I'm just hot? If you're angry, you can admit you're angry. If you're just hot, you can say, I'm just hot. If you were blindsided, you can say, I was blindsided, I didn't see that coming. And if you feel betrayed, it's okay to admit that you're feeling betrayed. So you have to be honest with yourself. You have to tell yourself, this is what I'm feeling. You have to acknowledge your feelings. You have to admit that you're feeling some sort of way. Put these feelings into words. Be categorical. Be assertive. Write down what you're feeling. Admit it to yourself. Say, I am feeling really angry. Say, I am feeling enraged. Say, I am feeling hot. Say, I am feeling sad. Whatever it is that you're feeling, admit that you're feeling that thing. Don't hide your feelings. Don't try to mask your feelings. Admit it. Own it. Own your feelings. You get to feel what you feel. Own it and admit that you're feeling that way. Only when you own your feeling can you decide, okay, what do I do? Since I'm feeling this way, what do I do? What can I do to fix it? What can I do to make it right? What can I do? What is the next step? You cannot take the next step until you have acknowledged how you're feeling. Because the way you would treat betrayal is not the way you would treat enragement. So if you're enraged, there's a certain way you can handle that, as opposed to when you are just hot or when you're feeling betrayed. So the way you handle it is different. But you must first know what you're feeling. You must first be sure of what you're feeling so that you can know how to fix it, so that you can know how to go about it. This third tip is one that you may not agree with, but it's one that I have found to be insightful, to be useful when I have been hurt and I have to forgive someone. And that tip is, understand why they did what they did. It doesn't make sense to you? I'll explain, I'll break it down, and I will make it make sense to you. When you put yourself in another person's shoes, when you put yourself in the shoes of someone who has hurt you, you get to see things from their perspective. You get to know why they did what they did. You get to see things from their perspective. For instance, if you were competing for a job with a friend, and that friend passed the recruitment test, but didn't tell you, and then proceeded to the interview stage, and still didn't tell you, and then eventually got the job, and then shared his or her good news with you, how would you feel? You'll feel hurt, you'll feel betrayed, especially if it was you who told that friend about the opening, and the friend also knew you were competing for that role. Okay, now imagine you were in the shoes of your friend. Imagine that you passed the recruitment test, but your friend was bemoaning her fate that she didn't pass the test and told you about it. Was that a good time to share your joy, or the fact that you passed the recruitment test? Was that a good time? You will say no. And then you got the interview call. Did you also think it would be fair to tell your friend who was still complaining about not passing the recruitment test that you had moved on to the interview stage? Did you think it was a good time to do that? I doubt you did. And then you passed the interview and you got the job. And here it dawns on you that there is no how your friend will not know that you're working for XYZ company. So somehow your friend will know where you're working. And so you knew it was time to speak up. You knew it was time to inform your friend of the events, of the happenings that she did not know about. When you put yourself in your friend's shoes, are you as angry at your friend as you were before? I doubt that you are. You have seen that at every stage, it seemed to your friend like his hands were tied. It seemed like it was not a good time to share his news with you until he had no choice because he had got the job. And then you say to yourself, okay, I get it. Okay, I understand where he was coming from. Okay, I understand why he did not tell me until he got the job. I'm sure he would have also said nothing about it if he didn't get the job. He would have just said, yeah, XYZ did not hire both of us, and would have moved on. I would never have known that he went for the interview. So you're not going to be as angry as you were initially when your friend told you that he got a job that you were both competing for. That is life. When you put yourself in your friend's shoes, when you walk a mile in other people's shoes, you get to see things from their perspective. You get to see that they did not intend to hurt you. You get to see that they were trying to do what was best for themselves and for the situation as they thought best. You get to see that. And you realize that whatever anger, whatever disdain, whatever betrayal you were feeling starts to dwindle. You're not as upset as you were before. That is the essence of walking a mile in the shoes of other people, especially those who offend you. It may not be easy for you to do, especially if you've never done it before. But sometimes you need to do it. You need to try it. You need to give it a try. Walk a mile in people's shoes. Ask yourself, if I were the person, would I have told my friend who was bemoaning her feet that she didn't get a job, would I have told her that I passed the recruitment test and I've moved on to the interview stage? Would it have been a fair thing to say? Would it have been a kind thing to say? Would that have been the right time to say that to my friend who was bemoaning her fate? The answer is no. It would not have been a good time. It would not have been a good thing. It would not have been a kind thing. So, it is what it is. You can't be upset. You can't be mad forever. You can't be pissed off forever. Yes, you feel betrayed. But having walked a mile in your friend's shoes will show you that it's not as bad as you thought it was. And your friend did what he thought was best for the situation, for your relationship, and for that timing. And it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. And when you walk a mile in someone's shoes, it is easier to forgive them. It is much easier because you have understood, because you have seen things from their perspective, because you now know how it feels. You now know what that person must have been thinking. And you now know why that person acted the way he did. Those are the 3 tips I have for you today on how to forgive others. For more tips, you can read my blog here. The link is here below in the description of this video. Click it, read it, tell me what you think about the blog post. Drop your comments on the blog. Also drop your comments here on YouTube and tell me what you think about these tips on how to forgive others. Also tell me if you found them useful and if you started practicing them, what you think about them and how useful they have been to you in forgiving others and rebuilding relationships, rebuilding strained relationships. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Show me your support, please. by subscribing to this channel. Also, click the notification button so you will know as soon as I update. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your family, with your friends, with your colleagues, with everyone that you know. Thank you, fellow inspirers, for spending time with me today. I'm happy to have had you here with me. I hope you have been inspired. I hope you have learned something new. Remember, that's what we do for each other. We inspire each other. Don't forget to be an inspiration. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Please subscribe, click the notification button, like this channel, share our videos, and follow us on social media. Thank you very much.
Inspira Central. Inspira Central.